So here we have the Epiphone Lucille and the Gibson ES-335. Now, these guitars, after sitting around playing for a little while, feel incredibly similar. And they are very close when it comes to body styles. They are, I think this one is supposed to be based on like a 355, but their depth, their neck feel, the neck on the gloss Lucille has a different feel to it, and I'm not sure if it's something that has to do with the actual profile of the neck or if it's just the fact that it is gloss. So this guy comes with the ebony fingerboard and the bound headstock, which everyone recognizes from Lucille. This is the Epiphone version, of course. So it is made in China, I believe. Yes, handcrafted in China. But this guitar and that guitar really do have a lot of similarities. And if you're going to be picking up, if you're thinking about an ES-335, this guitar right here for $949 comes with a gig bag style case. They call it the Epilite or something like that case now. But this guitar for just under $1,000 really is a solid performer and sounds great, feels great, has some pretty impressive electronics with the Varitone switch on there. So you get a few options that you don't get on the 335 for a little more than 1/3 what an ES-335, I believe it's Studio, would cost, which I believe at the time of recording is $27.99. So $349 or $949 for the Epiphone, $27.99 for the Gibson, and that's a pretty hefty difference. Like I say, almost 3 times the price at the end of the day. Now I will say this: the Epiphone comes with a gig bag, and the Gibson comes with a hard shell, but that's not enough to justify 3 times the price. But anyway, so this is a little demonstration of a comparison of 2 semi-hollow bodies. But we do have a guest appearance today from the Harmony Montclair. And this is an old hollow body F-hole guitar. So it is from, best we can tell, the late 40s, early 50s. But it has been outfitted with a piezo style pickup in this bridge right here. So running on Elixir 12 gauge strings. So they're actually acoustic guitar strings on a hollow body. Some may call that sacrilege. I like the way it sounds. But anyway, so I thought I'd start off with these 2 though. I'm going to run through the positions on the Epiphone Varitone, starting off with one which is the bypass, and then just for giggles compare it to its sibling. But starting off in one, and then everything else will be done in one after we do a quick rundown of the tones you can get from the Varitone switch. So starting off on the neck pickup with position 1. So this is the bypass. Position 2 on the Varitone. Alright, position 3 on the Varitone. It would help if I turned the actual volume up, huh? That makes more sense. I was trying to figure out why it was so dark. Let's go back and start that over in position in 10 on the front pickup. Position 2 again. Position 3. Position 4. Position 5. And then 6. This guitar gets really quiet in position 6. See how it handles the middle position. Again, everything at 10. See, when you go back to 1, four is the tone that most people on this guitar associate with B.B. King's blues riffs. So, is that? All right, so let's move on to the ES. So, of course, this is the ES-335 that we've just recently gotten. It is a standard issue model. It's not some custom or anything, just a regular 335, and it has been modified with a couple of appearance things, but it is essentially exactly as Gibson made, or makes, I should say, most of the ES-335 models. And this particular one, like I say, on the top has had a satin tint added to it, which gives it a slightly more aged look. But the T-type pickups in it are definitely different than the ones that I think are ProBuckers that are in the Lucille. And so it has a different sound, though they are instantly recognizable as family members of each other. No Varitone, but already you can tell these T-types push a lot harder than even these pickups that are on the Lucille in the bypass mode. So what you get is these guys pushing the amp harder. And giving more sound. It's louder. It's just louder. Back it off to about 7, where this is at right now. You will get a sound that is out of tune, because this is Texas weather and that's how that works. But at the end of the day, the actual guitar has a very different tone when it's turned down, and more akin to what you get out of the bypass sound of the Lucille. Again, this guitar, the Lucille, is 1/3 the price. So maybe you just turn your amp up on it. Anyway. So anyway, clean tones through the hues. I'm going to leave it at 10 for the first few strums, then I'll drop it down to about 7. Seven and a half. Now, if you turn that tone down to about 3.5, so now we're at 4 instead of 10. even going down just to 8 with the tone down at 4. You can get a lot of Varitone style sounds by just playing with the tone and volume. Anyway, go to the bridge on 10. Rolling that down to about 6.5. And then in the middle, everything on 10. So they have very different tone, but they have similar ways of getting there when it comes to what they do, because they're both humbuckers, but they have drastically different sounds. The Varitones, which, like I say, gives you a lot of flexibility, you can kind of emulate that with the tone and volume controls on the ES-335. But the question is it easier just to buy the Lucille and turn the amp up? Maybe so. Now, just for fun, on a clean tone demonstration, we have the Harmony Montclair. Harmony guitars apparently still exist to this day, but this guitar is from the late 40s or early 50s, best we can tell, and was probably purchased at a Sears or Montgomery Ward store. Some of y'all may not even know what Montgomery Ward's was, especially if you're overseas. But Sears and Montgomery Ward sold guitars that were just generic guitars in the 1940s, 1950s. These guitars didn't have serial numbers, had almost no way of being tracked, but they were still guitars, and people bought them, and they gave them to kids as first guitars. And such was the case with this guitar right here. This one originally belonged to my grandfather, and he got it because he wanted to learn how to play guitar. My dad picked it up and figured out how to play it, and so it wound up in my dad's hands. My grandfather apparently just didn't care, so he didn't really fight the issue. But at the end of the day, this guitar is coming up on, most likely, it's probably coming up on 75th birthday, if not already past the 75th birthday. But with some new strings, these guitars, or ones like it from the 50s, don't have much value. There's no serial numbers on them. So frequently you can buy them on Reverb for like $350. And adding a pickup gives it a clean tone that. Can't be adjusted, but does turn out to be a pretty fun little guitar to have, and if you're a musician, might give you the inspiration to do a song that you don't normally do. It certainly is fun to just strum, whether it's in acoustic mode or with the amplifier on. So I just thought it'd be fun to just kind of grab it, throw it in a video, since we're doing other arch tops, and this one is an arch top. Laminate bodies, pickups. At the end of the day, they're all guitars and they all inspire you to do whatever you want to do, but I just thought it'd be fun to put an old arch top up against its semi-hollow body brethren from the modern era. If you stuck around this far, hope you enjoyed. Anyway, till next time.